If the fabric is used for more than wool around the absence like a shell or a cloak, the winds will push up the envelope, four corners are secured. If by day a vision of patterns and shapes inside the walls become accessed, perhaps presenting descriptions our highest aspirational appetites were too blind or perhaps uninformed to anticipate. If they could only know the descriptions generally enough, they could just hire someone to produce the detail of performance for something great. You have experienced by description the tins from within a pentagram, no gates left to center. A resentment for life beneath the breath, and I hear you like to gamble. I wasn't doing anything anyway. Good decision. King in a Pyramid. This is my second book, the first I declined to publish. Too complicated. What is the response? What is this relation of aspirational appetite? And now we both have something to be proud of. Me and you. Something happened and now you know about it. Consumed it. Should we agree? I strongly disagree. Yes, this book is for you. I have a description. Don't you know that killing yourself is the only way you can abolish the thought? A certain cure is behind the curtain. Why make us experience it for you? With you. Ya wanna blow with tar, big dog. These bitches wanna go. Guess who crashed the party, smoking on a smarty cabana? Funny. They are seeking things identitic, eventually all things possible, and if possible then all things, and slavery is what they are mad about really. Measure the metabolism, then divide by girth orientation. The GC is not a rule. We don't say by accusation, someone else is unpatriotic for lowering the flag in temporal gestures of a symbolic mourning, but we could Colin Kaepernick spike that shit. It's not a movement, it's an appetite. What they're arming for and fighting for is slavery. Have we figured out what Jews will not replace us really means yet? Is it Jesus's return they're worried about? The resurrection of John? A genealogy of Peter? The writings of Paul, or good works of Joseph and Mary? Moses perhaps? Someone whose life descriptions are not filled with the bland inordinate boredoms of themselves. Perhaps by deservation, seizing an asset, something we knew by intuition we deserved but could until now know who they were, or what exactly it was we wanted. A justified strategy of those who lie in wait for others to finish the work for us. The vital orientation that ensures they're the people in the right place at the right time, in the right station to be able to receive by right the controls to what? The loose strand of potential in self-governance. Measure metabolism to know where they're coming from. Dividing by orientation helps us know where they're going really are, then understand this. I'm not here for you. We do have penchance to help. We have the solutions but we cannot do it for you. From the fires of death alive you have reached us, death living. We will save you, and you will receive us as a blessing. They have measured the time by endurance, for with the purpose to accumulation, and call that timing a progress. Like waters around a fish we provide the forms to your momentum, so you can fight to dominate the circus in the pond. That is how we filter, found, you. Light times itself framed quantificational constant, in a bipolar revolving contrast of the topic, spreading out by reduction and center to expanse. Highly charged and energetic, not just mimicking the perception but now fine-tuning the sun. Believe it or not, you're creating an energized vortex, wide swath great of extrain swirling the surfaces pull now and set. Depth charge orient not close enough to condensation core. So we have come to help you reach it. For as there is never a final goal, just a direction, away from center, heading out. For you it is something different. How do we help them reach the goal? By giving them something to reach for. Last thing to Tom, though your perspective will constantly be taken into account. I can't imagine you reading something worthwhile that hasn't been reviewed and approved by someone else first, but in case you did here, I will reward you with a perception from 2 former memories playing simultaneously. Don't make too much of the fact you're mentioned, we just needed a narrative to draw out the description for the energy of your Orient. There has been some concern at times over what papers were found and confiscated in Tesla's studio apartment. We want you to know he knew the date to the hour some time in advance, and what you found then was exactly as expected. From what we understand, Letty was playing in his headphones. How does one participate with the angels of his death procession? Legendado. A universe, galaxy, solar system created in your own image. Left foot in, right foot in, that's it. It's not about a specific circumstance, or a set of specifics or circumstances. Playing the hand you're dealt now. Orientation. Centrifugal reference keys the dynamics, and it takes time, but eventually it becomes the universal expression of that reference for all to measure, the experience. We searched until we found the resin spiral carpet fiber your sun and then yourselves by impact fell into. Containing, not housing now, the light quanta that was not absorbed without light into the dark cyclonic. As for us having the capacity and will to find you, you don't know how lucky you are. The problem for us now is the breath reference. Howley and Round has charged the meanings for our own descriptions of experience, so we have come to freshen the reference. Not taking anything down or putting anything up, just cleaning dirt off the walls of our own pyramid. Light quanta does not freeze but can be tragically frozen in context. Not like dogs running around the charge frame, circle of momentum, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but a cat with reflexes bouncing off the charge momentum triangle of the inner circumference. A frame resonance at or just under the speed of light static. Because of the motion, your static observations are tricked by several illusions of circumstance with your instinct for an equilibrium. Imagine a Jewish flag. You see several points at once, and the line is always drafting from behind your own reference. Because you're bouncing around at the speed of light or just under, you begin to form a recognition for the points that, for you, reference utility, and you'll notice symmetry in the motion. While you travel, you focus on the points as labels to possesses, and the gaps as something dissimilar. A constant flipping of the symbol tau, as what to agree and disagree with contrast for momentum reference. Passing with observation your own framed reference bit by bit, the lines that connect the points by manifestation for your sense of perspective are always brightest and unwinding behind you. As you measure a depth of relation, you'll notice the web of strings floating away, becoming the past by perspective. The line between them and the gaps between that fading as reflection resonant with observation still at a scented pace certainly, but also perspective. Where are you going? Tides and current enough to create an arc while swimming in place with those who are hoping to become the face of Blackbeard. Sliding back when a position opens up, looking back here and there to make sure the head is still bobbing at center but it's only ankle deep. An endured preservation with pressure added will become petrification. Engraven image. The resin mark is your heart. Your heart. Tattoos, as they say, on chest and forehead. Aren't our authors smart? So what happens when they get tired of swimming? Marsupial. Tell me where you came from. Where are you? Who told you these things? Jesus. A scientist. You are his eyes, ears and hands, but where is his heart? Blood on your teeth but not your fingers. They pray, tell us Lord, and we will do, and forever in exchange this former reference provide us with all future blessing. He calls them what, Professor? Cannibals. Physics has taught us the eternal depth reference at the center of a Jewish flag is not represented because if it were it would have to refer to something else even still, and there isn't. What it is are the winds of externally sourced compression. External by perspective, and how do I know this? I have come back with the expression as description manifest and ionic. You still can't understanding we Z baby, so we're here to assist you. Do you have any idea how long it took to bring you to the comprehension of this one statement, and how expensive it is to smuggle an immigrant to the border? What to reach for first? How about this? Resonant at 3 to 10. 3 resonations and a response. You came out of incubation feeding on yourselves. Once puberty set in, you keyed your appetite for others around you. Reaching out with a prior motion reference, embedded in a self-contained system of reflective equilibrium. Crown. Come with me, run quick, see. Do you wanna write or die? 99 Problems, Linkin Park Ain't One. The karma of transmission is a key that charges the echoes in your spinning square circuit, until a harmony emerged that's producing a motion reference cycle that's universal and generally good despite this one instance. I would like to speak to this mythology of equilibrium. The contrast signature has a purpose that is large and fully grown, the observation of nothing describing itself. Galactic by size descriptions rippling out and tracking down the Milky Way spiral, but funneled endurance steady course. The dirty mnemonics of reaching for a memory as the goal of your own objectives. Angles of momentum for proceeding that's all they were always. External harness of the resin spiral you are or were on keeps the momentum forward in the collapsing through equation form of math for momentum. You're meant to walk in place, eventually fine-tune traction. The spiral is foreground by connection and separate from the others. The way it turns is less by purpose than conditional circumstance. The image here replicates over and over in a swirling conveyance, and in a sense all you can see is the re-referencing of that substance. The lines are horizontal, but the seams of the rounding feature of each spiral represent your own continuum of experience. Spin around 3 times. The line will be wherever you happen to focus, not because that matters, just that is your own context of perspective. It's finished. Deed is and the confusion. Gap resonance. Think of the shortcuts as under the pools of reflection in the Hobbit movie. Every so often the wind blows down, receding the waters, nose pokes through, no breath, gap, gap and gap, it recedes from your mouth. The motion reference is perpetual, though not the sensation for observational petrification of yourself. The universe has a plan for us all.